Would you believe me if I told you that, in broad daylight, those who were supposed to protect the people were actually the ones spreading the most fear? On the streets of Brazil, the so-called defenders of the law, dressed as guardians of order, were the very same who gunned down civilians in cold blood. Two young dealers, guilty only of delaying part of their protection fee, soon ended up in wooden coffins. Afterward, the officers stripped the victims of their belongings, and even with the blatant theft, the chief of the force complained that money was still coming in too slowly. That was when Captain Bruce came up with a plan. Cut out the middlemen and claim the monopoly of violence for himself. The strategy worked. Bruce and his men swept away rival groups, enforcing themselves as the new owners of the city. Under the pretense of protecting merchants, they demanded half of every profit made. Those who couldn't pay were forced to accept loans. Within months, the gang's coffers were overflowing. Only one stronghold remained out of reach, a cluster of slums controlled by organized crime. Bruce knew he couldn't attack them head-on, so he set up a devilish scheme. He ordered a police station to be raided, stole the entire arsenal, and pinned the blame on the traffickers. To sell the lie, he called in journalists and fueled the fire of public opinion. Under pressure, Top Brass deployed elite units to wipe out the criminals. In no time, the territory was seized. But when the weapons were checked, none of those stolen from the station were found. At that point, the robbed precinct's chief broke his silence. He had seen the attacker's boot standard issue, exclusive to the police themselves. A reporter picked up the lead. Days later, she uncovered the missing arsenal hidden inside a warehouse, along with hundreds of political campaign posters. Proof that Bruce was trading votes in exchange for impunity. Journalist Helena decided to expose everything to a trusted senator. But while recording evidence inside the warehouse, she was ambushed by Bruce and his men. Naturally, she and her team were silenced on the spot, their bodies erased without a trace. Now, the only evidence left was the voice recording between Elena and the senator. That file landed in the hands of Commander Noah, who finally grasped the full scale of the conspiracy. Yet there was an even greater danger. One of the men involved was married to his ex. Noah tried to call her to warn her, but she refused to answer. Afraid of sparking old misunderstandings, with no other choice, Noah parked outside her building, determined to protect her, unaware that the militia was already watching him from the shadows.